I'd like you to hit the like button at the beginning, because every time you hit the like button, you are letting YouTube know that what you are seeing and hearing is edifying for you, so it can be shared with others. That's why hitting the like button is so important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel.
It had to happen. Your title is so powerful. When I read the name of your ministry, it had to happen.
Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, that it had to happen for our Wisdom Wednesdays. And tonight our topic is Mighty Men of Valor. We have the Carter's Corner men in the house on today. I am going to go ahead and introduce to some and present to others the Dr. Sam Carter. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing? We thank you so much for having us on. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Then we have in the house Mr. Wallace Ward. Welcome.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Then we have Mr. Jalon L. Potter in the building. Welcome.
How you doing?
I'm awesome. Thank you for asking. And we have Mr. Quinn Lee in the building, but he do not have on his camera. Can you hear us, Quinn?
Hey, Erica. I can hear everybody.
Okay, perfect. Are you gonna come on camera?
My camera messed up and my computer didn't want to work for me, so.
But we'll take that. As long as we have you here, that's all okay. But tonight our topic is Mighty Men of Valor. Very powerful men, as you can see here. We're on our 20th chapter of this month, and also we're going to tell you a little bit about how powerful men is, right? When we think about powerful men, we often think about their accomplishments, their wealth, and their influence. But let's not forget that these men are also human beings, right? With their own unique stories and experiences. Remember, behind every successful man is a team of dedicated individuals who have helped them reach their goals. All right. So let's celebrate the achievements of these powerful men, but also acknowledge that the support they've received along the way. So thank you guys for joining us on today. If you find this video insightful, please do share it with someone. Hit that like button and that subscribe button. It will let you guys know every time we go live here at It Had to Happen. So let's go ahead and start this conversation with the Mighty Men of Valor. Starting with you, Dr. Sam. Tell us a little bit about who is Dr. Sam Carter.
Well, I'm a community guy. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida, and we just work here in the community trying to help people out the best way we can. I started out as a student athlete, went off to school, came back home, and decided that we were going to help our community by working in community programs and starting different community activities, working with the youth and the families that I grew up around. And working with the families of the kids and dads and friends that I played ball with. So, we just decided to try to figure out the best way to be positive in our community.
I know that's right. One thing about it, there are two things for sure. I am a woman that loves football.
Yes.
Well, football mainly. So I'm glad to have you in the building. So let's move on to Mr. Wallace Ward with the deep voice. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised here in Tallahassee, Florida. Got my start working with young men back in 2011. I was doing health education, and I started working with some of the at-risk groups here in town. And I saw an opportunity to bridge the gap. Some of the programs that I was working with, their directors were older gentlemen with a lot of wisdom on top, but the young guys were kind of missing the point. And I understood what they were trying to get through to the young men. But again, I saw the opportunity to bridge the gap. Wrote a little book, published it in 2016. I'm revising it now. And since then, I've developed some workshops and I've been working with young men to introduce them trade skills and soft skills and other life skills that would help them to move forward and be able to progress in life.
That is so awesome, and congratulations on your book. Congratulations. Wow, you have a lot going on. That is so awesome. We have our seasoned men reaching back down to help our younger men. That says a lot. It's needed. It's definitely needed. So come on here, Mr. Jalon Carter. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
How you doing? Well, I'm a college student right now. I go to the University of Alabama, and I'm a sophomore working on the football team as a student intern with the equipment. And I'm from Tallahassee, Florida as well. And yeah, that's just a little bit.
All right. I don't know why you're not down there at the University of Miami.
Nah.
Don't do us like that. Don't do us like that. I know you're from Tallahassee, so I'm sure that it's what, FSU?
Yes, ma'am.
Still
UA at the end of the day.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's all okay. It's all love over here. So come on, Mr. Quinn Lee. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm from Greenville, Florida, which is right down the road from Tallahassee. And I'm 23. I'm enrolled in FAMU for pre-occupational therapy. I help out in a community with Dr. Sam and Wallace. And I like watching sports.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it right there. I never heard of. You said it's outside of Tallahassee?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You might have went out on this.
Yeah, Greenville, Florida is where Ray Charles is from.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, so he said he likes sports. So I'm watching sports. So we have sports all up in the building. But right now, it's about the young men. I heard all about Potter's Corner. I just want to know a little bit more about that as well as the viewers. Who want to start?
Well, we provide a 24/7 dads program where we work with men in our community. We also do other outreach programming, working with the kids and the families that the men come from. So we provide wraparound services to the guys that we work with through case management. We have a feeding families program. We're working on getting some GED and adult education put in place so that our dads that come in from either our reentry or from the community that may not have their GED, trying to help them get their equivalency in their education. We do a 12-week course that help dads become better men, and we teach them how to, be better men. And then the kids that participate in our program with our Good Sports program, I teach kids about non-traditional sport careers. When I was coaching at Troy University, I got my master's degree in sports management, and I realized that a lot of the things that happen on a daily basis during athletic and sporting events, I didn't see kids that looked like me doing them. But these folks are making a lot of money managing, running, and operating, setting up these games and being a part of the game. But yet our kids out here running around playing, but when they're finished, now they're looking for somewhere to work, and they're working in places that they don't like to be, but yet they played ball and participated in sports all their lives. but yet they're not a part of it after sports is not being able to be played. And I didn't think that that was something that was right. And that's where Jalon comes in. You know, he's been one of my kids since he was 8 years old in our Good Sports program, helping out with our Pop Warner, being the chain crew, rolling hot dogs, helping out with the concession stand, getting the fields and things set up so that those kids that came through the program with him, that come through our Good Sports, they know that they don't have to always play in order to still be a part of the game that they love. So that's a part of what we do with our Good Sports. And then our 24/7 dads, we have an alumni chapter so that when guys finish with the class after 12 weeks, we don't want them to just go off in the world on their own. They can come here to our resource center where we have computers, we have a weight room, we have music space, we have TVs that have all of the streaming, PlayStation 5. We do a lot of things here at our center. It's like a man cave for dads that men can come in a safe place, just be a guy. Leave all of the stuff that's going on outside the door. Just come in. If you need to talk to somebody, we have case managers here that you can talk to, or we just sit around as dudes, chew and chat together, eat wings, hang out, you know, watch some ball games or whatever, and just give dads and men in our community a place that they can come and just be a dad, talk to other dads, get some good ideas on what they may be able to do to help their family and their kids. And through that network of working with these men, we've figured out different way to serve them. So whether it's through healthcare, mental health, or participating in different events, and then we give our dads hands-on activities that they can do with their kids. So we just had a bowling event with Miss Nikki that the dads can come to. We went and had the 99th Squadron come in. The Tuskegee Airmen flew their planes in and took the dads up with their kid, and they did a 20-45 minute, you know, tour around Tallahassee and Gadsden County in the airplane and brought them back. I mean, so we try to do meaningful activities. We went to Talladega to a big race, and a lot of our kids that look like me have never been to a NASCAR event, and to be in a room or in a space with 100, 200 other thousand people watching these cars go fast, that was an experience for our kids that a lot of them wouldn't have gotten to do if their dad didn't participate in our program. So we try to, you know, make sure that the kids and the fathers that we work with are whole, and we help them in whatever manners that we can. And that's where Mr. Ward and the other men that we work with, Coach Fred and all those guys, that's where they come in with helping us.
Wow, that is so awesome. That is, oh my God, that's a lot, but it's awesome that you have the power behind you to be able to do all of this, because it's so needed, especially for our young men. And one of the things that stood out to me, what you said, is kids that don't look like us running those chains or whatever it is after football. You know, the body get beat up, because I'm telling you, my son played since he was 4 years old. And thank God, you know, he had a couple bumps and bruises, but he's still good. But the thing about it is, a lot of times our men, after leaving football, they really don't know which way to turn, because guess what? It was always about football. And when you're playing the sport, that's basically what they teach you to focus on, the sport, not the outside. Because after you leave that football field and you take those uniforms off, you still have to be a father, or you have to be someone's brother or son or husband, boyfriend, whatever it may be. You have a life outside of football. And a lot of times they fall.
A lot of our guys
they fall into
and a lot of the guys that we deal with, especially our athletes, they come to us broken. I mean, like, we have guys who, when the stop of the cheer and the lights go out and all of the stuff that they got, I mean, when they were in college, they may have been the man. Yeah. And now reality has hit. I'm not in the NFL. I thought I was going to be that guy, and now I'm not. What do I do next? And some of our guys' mental health is completely damaged because they only focused on the playing side. So I'm trying to get kids and youth interested in something outside of just playing. And I want them to play. I want them to excel. But if you can't get into the realm of playing, then there are other opportunities to work in sports. But we also do HIV testing here, and we do a whole bunch of stuff. We work with the healthcare providers in our community. We're going to be doing a prostate screening awareness event here at the center in September for prostate awareness month of September. So we're going to do some things here at the center that focus on men and men's health, as well as the sporting and the careers and education. But we just try to figure out ways to include guys and make sure that their families and the kids that they're responsible for get resources that they need.
Correct. And that is so awesome. Again, like I said, I mean, shouts out, salute to you, because that is amazing doing all of those things. And then you have Mr. Wallace Ward. Tell us how you tie into Carter's Corner.
Family affair. I met Sam when I was a freshman at Rickards High School back in 1996. So I've known him since I was a teenager, and young adult years, looking for a change in career. Sam directed me to Miss Sheila Morris over at Bond Community Health Center, and I got my start doing health education. And Sam at the time was working with the health department, and so he did my training on HIV testing and counseling, and that was the thing I was going to mention too. We are health educators that happen to work in a social work or a social field, so to wear multiple hats is a part of what we do. So I mean, we talk about it all the time. It doesn't really seem like work, because this is just what you do to help people. If you really have an intention on helping people, then that's what you do. Yeah. And one of the valuable lessons I learned during that HIV testing and counseling session was, or during that training rather, was the difference between a referral and linkage. And I think that's what you see in action right now. See, a referral, I can just refer you to Jalon Carter and say, hey, go over and see Jalon, and he'll get you a brand new pair of gloves, and your son can go out there and catch 1 million touchdowns. But it's different when I call Jalon and I say, hey, I got Miss Erica coming over to see you. She's got a son. He needs 3 pair of size 2X gloves. We expecting her, she gonna have on a black jacket with the diamonds on it and stuff like that. That's different. So now he knows who you are. He knows who to expect. You know what to expect when you go to see him. And it's more likely that you're going to follow through with that. And sometimes we have to facilitate that. So sometimes I have to go and do that soft introduction in person. And so a lot of what you see us doing is that facilitation of that linkage in action. And so during those steps, when we do our quality assessment, if you will, to see how well this process went, if we see that there was a gap or the ball was dropped, then we make those adjustments to where we can step in. And so a lot of the auxiliary services that we talk about are the services to help bridge those gaps. So, you know, the good sports ties into a lot of the other things that we do naturally. I mean, a lot of the dads that we have, they bring their kids. And so you part of the good sports program. So then I'm teaching the young men the etiquette courses and dress for success and personal and professional development. Well, our young athletes, we already know you're professionals before you choose a profession, right? You just have to take your professionalism into that profession. So we train them with those hands-on and those tacit learning type of opportunities when we have them with us. And so it all marries together because, again, it's wraparound services. So with the young men that I'm helping, a lot of them have an interest in sports and other things. And so the mentorship that I received from Sam and some of the other brothers around, I bring them around so they can rub off on that old iron too, right? Because iron sharpens iron, and that's what it's about, making each one better.
That's it right there. That is exactly what it's all about. And when you have the heart to serve, it comes natural. You don't have to try to push it, force it, or any of that. It comes natural. So thank you both so very much for everything that you're doing in the community and with the young men, because we know that the men are falling by the wayside. But having programs like this is amazing. So shouts out to you, Miss Nikki, if you're listening in. I truly, truly appreciate you for bringing these men over to get IH2H Oh my God, I'm so excited. Then we have the youngster in the building. Well, I ain't gonna say we have the young king in the building, and that is Mr. Jalon Carter. Tell us how you tie into Carter's Corner.
I tie in because Mr. Carter is my father, and I go with him a lot to a lot of the different events, and I just like to help, as they said, because it just comes natural, I guess. And I'm just there to always help. Whatever I'm told to do, I just do it. Even if I don't want to, I still just do it. And I'm just always there to help and learn, and that's just it.
Wow, that's so funny because my son normally tells me that too. Sometimes I don't want to, but I do it because you tell me to. But then it backfired on me, Mr. Carter. It backfired on me real good because when they become men, well, I know I can speak for Alan. Oh, I'm a man now, so I got a voice. So, Mom, I'm not gonna always do what you want me to do, but is
Yeah, that's starting to happen. But I'm trying to guide him into this because what like we say, but with the good sports program and what he does at the University of Alabama, is something that he's a testimony because he wanted to go to that school since he was 8 years old when he went up there. I worked football camps and I've been working up there since 96. So he's been following me since he was a baby up there. And he always wanted to go play ball and do those. And he tore his ACL in high school. So his playing career was kind of limited, and he got back on the field. He did help go to a state championship his senior year, but just that continuing being able to go and grind was a trouble thing for him. And he still wanted to go to Alabama. He still wanted to be a part of the football program. Well, because of his experience with good sports and the things he's done to help us through the program of working, we've reached out to the university and told them his story and let them know he was a kid that played ball. He understood athletics and he wanted to still be a part of the program. And they welcomed him with open arms to come help out. And he's still a part of the team. And that's what we want kids to understand, that just because you're not out there playing doesn't mean that you can't play, but you just have a different path right now. And if he wants to go play, he can always go. He's a student at the school. So if he wants to go try out, go get a helmet, my man, and try out. And that's what we tell these kids, that you're not limited to what you do because of a past injury or something. If you're still capable of doing it and you want to try out and go do that, please go do that. But there's also another side to it, which is the management of the game, the setting up, the running, and the day-to-day operations that a lot of our kids just seem to not get introduced to, and they miss out on a lot of money.
Wow.
A lot of opportunity.
You guys have this program. So shouts out to our Instagram family and our YouTube family. Thank you so much for tuning in here with us on tonight. As you have heard, the Dr. Sam Carter, the Wallace Ward, and the Jalon Carter. Now we have Quinn Lee. Tell us how you tie into Carter's Corner.
Okay, so I started being like working with Carter's Corner like about 3-4 months ago. I had met Wallace first through his mom, and ever since then, we got good chemistry. We started bonding and stuff, and he introduced me to 24/7 Dad also. So when I started participating in that, I seen that was a great program, and that I wanted to help around more. Just be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like help out in the community, basically. So I started doing more outreach and stuff, and I started attending events, and also I started going to food drives too and helping out.
Wow, that is so awesome. You have some really great men behind you. I couldn't have picked a better topic. Mighty Men of Valor. Many can't carry that title. That title is heavy, y'all. It's heavy.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
You guys doing the work. And I'm telling you, like Wallace said, it comes easy when you're a natural, when you really want to help someone. And again, you talked about Jalon tearing his ACL, and was that in high school? Yeah, and did they tell you couldn't play anymore, or you just chose not to?
No, it was more of a me thing, not a you can't or you don't have to or any of that. It was more of a me thing.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what I always wonder. Like after a player get hurt, so I'm going to direct this to you, Jalon. I always wonder after a player get hurt and maybe you come back, you healed or whatever. Are you a little timid when you go back out? Thinking,
Yes, ma'am.
See, you telling the truth. My son said, yeah, I know, because he had a meniscus tear in his senior year of high school.
I did that too.
Meniscus?
It was meniscus, MCL, and my ACL.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, but that's the thing I've always wondered, because if you have an injury like that, like I think the worst one when his foot was in the opposite direction. So, but my thing is, that's when he was with the Cowboys and his ankle snapped, the bone was out and everything. Yeah. Oh God. Yes. And I thought, that's it. I thought that was just it. But he got back out there the same exact year. So I've always wondered, and I asked and he say no. I asked a couple of players, they say no, but thank you, Jalon. Thank you.
Well,
You.
and what I deal with when I deal with athletes, because we run like we're professional. I mean, I'm a licensed sports agent as well. So I represent and work with guys, in their professional life off the field with getting business and things of that nature. And a lot of the guys that I deal with that have injuries, that even if they do get a chance to go back and play, that injury still possibly has shortened their career path. That's still a traumatic event.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of young men that are walking around our community that got hurt in high school and they couldn't finish out their dream, and they are traumatized, childhood adverse experiences. Yeah. So we're dealing with a bunch of broke toys walking around our community, and we're wondering why these men are not responding to what's being done around them and what's being needed of them. It's because they are in trauma. Yeah. And until we recognize that our men in our community have these issues and need the resources to help them snap out of it, because I mean, I got kids that have played at a high level that we've had to send off to rehab because when they finished playing ball, they did not know how to respond to, now I have to go out and I'm not the same guy that on TV anymore. That life has passed. How can I still be important to my family, but yet I didn't get my degree? I just played football. I got hurt. And some of these guys that are going through these situations, they need a resource center such as ours. And that's why I created this space, because I have a lot of friends that I grew up with that are dead and in prison, not because they were bad guys, but because once sports was over, life seemed to be over for them. And they didn't know what else to do because they hadn't done anything other than play sports. So, that was one of the reasons why, I birthed what we're doing now at Carter's Corner, so I can be a benefit and a blessing to help the men and the boys in my community. And I started with two. That was my two little brothers. I wanted to make sure that they were straight. One played at Alabama, one played at Tulane, one played with the Saints in Buffalo. My brother have both coached in the NFL. They both have coached at Division I college level, have master's degrees and all of those things. And it was due to my thought of, I want them to see something different. And because I just wanted to help my two little brothers, I end up helping a whole bunch of people, because we've continued to do the same thing just year after year, helping kid after kid. And that's what our goal is through working with Wallace and the Builder of Men, and what he does to help us with grooming these young fellas, because he does a lot of work with these kids with us and the men that we serve. He goes inside of the jail. We go into the prison. I mean, we go in these facilities, and he's locked up with them just like they locked up and doing class, and ain't nothing in there between them and him other than opportunity. So for them to respect what we do and understand how to behave during class, I mean, we have wardens that tell us that their prison section that we participate in is a better place because the men that participate in our program are adhering. I had one warden ask me, why do we have 19 dads in our program and they have life in prison? And I said, well, there's still somebody daddy.
Yep.
Just because they locked up for life don't mean they're not a parent. So they still interact with their kids at home and all of those things. We still want to teach them how to be better men. And we have to lead by example. So we hire guys like Quinn and Wallace and Coach Fred and all of those guys that work with us. We try to just turn guys out like Jalon. That's what we're working on.
Man, you guys do it all. One-stop shop. One-stop shop. But
yes, ma'am. That's what when we understand men, right? We're talking about men. Yes. Guys don't want to get sent 5 different places and go 2 different appointments and stop to talk to 5 different people about what's wrong with them. If they can come to one place and get what they need, then they are more amped to be successful and follow through, as well as be adherent to what we're asking them to do, because they're not having to deal with 100 people.
Right.
So, we try to put things in place where our guys can come here and get what they need. And that's what we want.
Absolutely. So come on and tell me about this builder of men, Wallace.
Okay. Again, it was birthed out of what I saw as necessity. While working with one of the at-risk groups, I was pulled to the side and asked to mentor one of the young men that was a part of the group. I was told that this young man had a lot of potential, and I felt bad because I did not have the time. I was in school full time. I was working full time. My car was down, and I knew that, I would be limited in the amount of time that I could give this young man, but I was determined to do something. And that's where the idea of writing a book came from. So it was intended to be just a little pocket manual you can just, put in your front pocket and pull out whenever you were sitting in an interview or something like that. But as always, I prayed about it before I got started. And as I did, it was a lot more information than just a pocket worth. So 170 something pages later, and now 70,000 words later, it's not about a word count or anything. It's more about completion and making sure that I put the best of the information that I have. Ever since I was young, I've been, I don't know, just kind of on a mission. It seems I've always kind of gravitated towards older men. Sam will tell you, I'm 15, 14 years old. I would see him hanging across the street with the older crowd, and I'd go over there every chance I got. I was always around older guys, but I was always trying to learn what it was like to be a man, and that always meant something to me. So manhood and self-sufficiency and things of that nature, I guess that was just my mission. So I started with this because I understood that a lot of the young men that we deal with or that we're reaching don't have the father figures in the house. I mean, when we look at, my dad was an adjunct professor of history for over 20 years on FAM's campus. My mom, a social worker. So two coming, right there in hand. I'm a teacher and a social worker by DNA, really. And when we look at it, it hit me one day. I'm an 80s baby. I was blessed to survive the crack era. And although some of my family members did have a run-in with that drug in one way or another, I was blessed that my parents weren't on it, but many of my peers weren't so lucky. And so in school, we would see kids that be a little different, or why he do this like that, or why he don't never, and you just didn't know. So when you saw things that you thought it wasn't home training, or why isn't that person's hygiene the same, you didn't understand that at the time. As you got older, you can look back and you can reflect and say, well, man, how could they when their parents were dealing with that? And so we realized that I realized a lot of our peers were the victims of, or crack babies, or in a household that were dealing with other issues, not even just drugs. And so now some of my peers are parents, and how can you pour into what you didn't have? And so we have a lot of folks around us that didn't have that same foundational learning that we were blessed to have. And so me just trying to do my part, just seeing and being blessed with a gift of gab and being able to help kind of bridge the gap and say things in a way that I can help someone understand a different perspective without feeling judged or whatnot. And I just stepped up to say, hey man, I want to do my part, and I want to try and help out. I realized that if we can, even when I was in school, taking professional development courses, I was 27, but I was looking at these classes and I was like, man, I should have had this when I was Jalon's age. I'd have been 10 times ahead by then if I'd have known the importance of, choosing the right suit and not just putting on a suit when you go for an interview, but choosing the right one. It actually looks right. It fits you the right way. And the confidence that it gives you when you do put on the right suit. And it's not just a facade and not just about looks. It's really about the totality of what happens when you put on this real suit of armor, if you will. So me being passionate about that and being able to offer these services, I wanted to be able to do that for the youth. But I also saw that, again, volunteer with Sam back in the day, going into the prisons. I saw that a lot of our young men coming home from prison would need those services. I saw that even brothers coming out of the military that may have had a specific job or a specific task, and that's all you know. If you were a killer, then you were a killer. So how would you know soft skills and how to talk in an interview when you used to, having to be on the infantry team? So I wanted to provide these services for any man that needed it, any man that wanted it, and that's why I'm here.
Whew. Y'all blowing my mind, I'm telling you.
We tell guys all the time, if you want a better life, don't make better decisions, change your choices.
Oh.
Like, all right, if you want, what you want me to do? Stab you or shoot you? Pick one. If those are your choices, how are you going to make a good decision? So we have a bunch of kids and community members that have never had good choices to choose from, but yet we're fussing and mad at them for making bad decisions. Well, they had bad choices. So what we have to do is convince people that they are in control of their destiny. And if you want a better life, let's put some things in place where you can change your choices. Because if you got better choices, you're going to make better decisions.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the strength that we try to pour into, like, young men like Jalon. Like, I don't want him to start from scratch. I was a 16-year-old dad. I was a young fella that didn't have a lot of guidance and didn't have the resources to take care of what I needed, let alone to be taking care of other folks. But through me not wanting to be a bad dad, I learned how to be a good dad. Because I didn't want to be a bad dad. So I had to make sure that the things that I was putting in place and did were of that nature. So I did everything I could to take care of my kids as well as my two little brothers. And then that just continued throughout my entire life, because I always want to make sure people that need help were being helped. So developing ways to get resources. I've stayed in food stamp line. I've gone down to the Salvation Army to get a box because I needed some food for my family. I've gone into the line to get the resources and help. So I know what those feelings are for people that are in need. My mom didn't have money to send me to camp during the summer, so I went to the Salvation Army free camp. So that was the way we were introduced to certain things. And just as I grew up, I've always said I want my kids to have access to. So I just worked hard to make sure that not only my two little brothers were put in a good space and place so that they had good choices in life so that they can have a better life. And that's what we just continued to replicate over and over with our program and trying to help our community by giving them good choices so that they can make better decisions.
Absolutely. And I think too with the men, you spoke about being in a 2-parent home, right, Wallace? You was in a 2-parent home. A lot of times.
For a little while. Yeah. My parents divorced when I was 7.
Okay. So in the beginning, you was in a 2-parent home, right? I'm a single mother. So here's my thing. A lot of times when you're that single mom or single dad, they put a stigma on your child or your children, right? And what they don't understand, you could be in a 2-parent home and still it's a single parent home. Because guess what? Dad may be working all the time and don't have time. Or mom may be working all the time and don't have time. See, we was taught that, okay, if you give us this, you love us. These kids want time. They want you to put time into them, not just giving them, not just buying them the latest fashion or whatever it may be. Because the thing is, we have to be the first people to pour into our children. And then they go out and be productive citizens outside of our home. But the thing is, you have so many people, like you say you were 16, you know, we have kids raising kids. Thank God that you had the mindset that you had, you know, and you did everything you had to do for not only your child, I mean your brothers, but for your child too. And the thing about it, you don't have much of that. So you say, oh, God, I see God was pruning you, you know, back then to do what you're doing now. And see, we don't understand. That's why I love the topic God has given me. It had to happen. We don't understand why the it's happening in our life. Look, the it's was happening to you back then. It was birthing something. And now all of you men are here today, mighty men of valor, to tell your story and tell what you're doing in the community. You're not just worried about some men, you're worried about all men. That says a lot. And it comes easy. So, Jalon, I want you to tell me, what was the most courageous thing you've ever done?
As far as what? Like,
what was the most courageous thing?
I would probably have to say recently. It was probably recently. Anything that I've done up till when I went on the news with my dad, it was always easy for me. But I went on the news with him recently, and that was pretty hard for me. I don't know why. But it wasn't even a bad experience. It was a good experience.
Wow. Are you camera shy?
Yeah, very. Yes.
I don't know why. You speak so well. You're very handsome. So you need not to be camera shy. The world needs you, Jalon. These young men need to see you. And that's why your father is doing the things that he's doing for you. So you could be that example, that pillar that these kids can see that, okay, well, he's doing this. Because a lot of times our kids want to hit that field. But that field, they always want them to be on that field. You understand? God has a different path for some. And it's so, I mean, I don't know. It touches me that you're still attached to football, because some people some men get so mad with it when they don't make it. Oh, I want nothing else to do with it. But you understood, because guess what? You had a mighty man of valor standing behind you to push you. So get in front of those cameras. It's your time. It is definitely your time. That's just it. So, Quinn, I want to know, what was the most courageous thing you have done?
See, I gotta put some thought into it, but I can't take that I did by courageous, do you mean like, what I did, like full of heart, like
what? Okay, let me rephrase the question. I'll do it. I'll give you another one. What are you most thankful for today?
Life in itself, and having a roof over my head, being married, having a son, finna be born into this world. I'm grateful for a lot of things, because it could be worse.
It could. It definitely could. Congratulations on your baby. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh my God. So what are you thankful for, Mr. Carter?
Well, I am just thankful that, I had a better chance of winning the lottery than being the man that I am today. Going back through, I was on the show cap list in the 3rd grade. That's the list of kids that the police have had multiple run-ins with, and they've already identified as possibly being problems in our community. I was on that list in the 3rd grade.
Wait, the 3rd grade.
Oh, I had the police coming to the schoolhouse all the time in the 3rd grade, 4th, 5th grade. By the time I was in the 7th grade, I done got kicked out of middle school. So I was one of those kids. I was mad because my daddy left me. I was mad because everybody counted us out because we came from a certain community or a certain area of the community. Nobody believed what we said because we were these little bad black babies, or we went to this particular neighborhood store, or whatever it is that people, like to cast out on the unfortunate. I happened to be a part of that list and name all the time, not because I wanted to be, but because I hung out with a certain group of guys, or because my friends were a certain makeup of the community. People distrusted us or talked about us or didn't give us an opportunity. I never got to go on school field trips because I was always the first kid to get 2-3 strikes on the board when the teacher lead the room, and now Sam can't go with us because he gonna be in trouble and be bad anyway. So I never got to experience a lot of things. So childhood traumas and things that I've seen throughout my life because of, you know, who my cousins were and the community that I was connected to. So for me to be doing what I'm doing now, and like I said, my 5 best friends, 3 of them are dead and 2 of them been to prison, and 1 of them killed the other one. So, you know, I mean, so for me to be where I'm at today, it blows a lot of folks' minds when they see and talk to me. I recently was reunited with my 3rd grade teacher, and when she reunited with me, she was just ecstatic because she said, "I thought you were dead by now." She had no idea I was still alive. And she said it was just something about me that she always knew I was a good kid, but she was just always so worried about me. But we reunited since then, and it was just that was my story throughout my life because I got in trouble all the time. But because of sports and athletics, I was one of those that kind of got pushed through and passed through because I was good on the field. Well, that led to me not knowing how to read, being in special ed, and not having the tools to get through school. So when it got to be my senior year, I didn't have the grades. I didn't have test scores. I was in ESE classes. So I actually learned, I knew words, but I actually learned how to really read in community college. I went to Mississippi Delta Community College. And that's when I really started to kind of figure out, okay, you got to take school serious, because these folks just gave me a letter that said, if you don't meet the grant and aid next semester, you're going back home.
Wow.
I didn't want to go back home.
Wow.
So I picked up my schooling. I got the help that I needed. And once I realized, man, school ain't that hard if you do your work. You know, I started to pick up on education and realized that it was something that was not that difficult for me. So learning became fun. And then it got to a point to where I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to help kids like myself. So I go to schools and I go places and I try to encourage kids who started life out like me and give them an example of, hey, dude, I was one of those kids that got counted out. I was one of those kids that folks didn't believe in. So I tell teachers and people in admin all the time, man, don't give up on these kids. They might turn into me.
Wow.
Right. So we have to be an example, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm blessed and happy that I am alive to be the CEO and executive director of Carter's Corner. That's what I'm blessed and happy about.
Well, first of all, you're not trying, you're doing it. That's first of all. First and foremost, you guys are doing it. You're doing a great work. I mean, and again, salute to you all, because this is so amazing. Nikki says, great show, very informative. Miss Stacy says she's totally agree. But let me tell you something. This here is awesome, man. Nikki, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Wallace, I want you to tell me what you're most thankful for today.
Thankful for opportunity to contribute. There's a picture on the wall besides Sam. You can see only half of it, and there's another young man up there, Mr. J.R. Sanders. He's another product of this good sports program in Carter's Corner Tutelage. And just like Jalon, I've mentioned him because you can expect to see a lot more Jalons coming out of this program. It's a tried and true program, and I'm thankful to be a part of the program, and I'm thankful for the direction. Working with Sam, I do run my own business, but we do have a partnership, and because he was able to see my vision and what I'm trying to do, he put me in charge of running one of his programs, and that's for his business. And so me being able to offer my influence and the things that I see that matter to me, to those young men, and that's important. I'm thankful for that. And so the opportunity to give back and pay it forward, be a part of it, thankful, grateful.
Well, Miss Erica, one of the things, like Wallace just said, some of our dads, they have skills. They have things that they want to do, but never had an opportunity because they never had anybody to direct them. So we encourage our dads that, you know, are wanting to be entrepreneurs and businessmen. Our center is built on us. We have a co-op downstairs that we let men in our community that have their own home business. They can come here to the center and use this address as a commercial business address. Wow. We have computers that they can use to print. They can meet here at the boardroom, conference room, as if it's their space. Like, this is not Sam's resource center. This is the community resource center. And the men that use this center, they use it as if it's theirs. They don't have to tell anybody that Mr. Sam has this. Like, they come in here. One of our dads has been a custodian for over 20 years, and he heard us talking about how we run our own business, and he said he wanted to try that. So we helped him get his EIN number. We helped him get his SunBiz. And then the guys in the 24/7 Dads group said, you know what? We don't have anybody to clean our building. So we hired him as his first contract. So we gave him his first contract to clean the building. So he comes in once a week and he cleans the place up, keep it right for us. And that was his way. And now he just called me yesterday, super excited that he just got his first contract with the Leon County School Board.
Wow.
So, you know, that's the power of what we're doing. So we have guys like Quinn and guys like Wallace who we've helped start their own, and then we figure out a way to not only help them with starting it, but we weave them into what we do so that they can have some funds coming in. And that's what it's about. And that's why I tell Wallace, he doesn't work for me, he works with me. No different than Jalon. Jalon's an independent contractor. He's my son, but we pay him just like we pay our kids with our Good Sports program. They don't volunteer. These kids come out and they get 5 hours every Saturday working baseball, football, soccer, kickball. It doesn't matter what event we have, basketball. When they come out and work, we pay them for their services. So these kids get the money for working at a sporting event. They learn how to work an event. And then we also make sure that they know how to spend their money by having financial literacy, teaching them about what to do with their money, because we take them off on trips. And when they go off on trips with us, they start to realize at an early age, some of my friends save and work their money better than me. Because now I'm here with them, they got a pocket full of money because they've saved from when they came to work with Mr. Sam, and I'm sitting in here and I don't have any money. So the boys, iron sharpens iron. So some of our kids, they be like, hey, man, you shouldn't have spent all your money, man. You should. So they help them. They may buy him a cheeseburger, buy him something. But that feeling of I'm here, I don't have any money, and my peers do, and we've been doing the same thing. I need to make a change. So they grow. And that's what we want these guys to do. We want them to grow up. We want them to understand how to do certain tasks and things. And we give them the opportunity to practice doing that by taking them off with us. We don't babysit them. We make sure that they understand what the rules are. And then the older boys like Jalon, who've been in our program for years, they help us by sharpening the younger ones and being an example. And they just fall in line. I mean, we got kids that are 2 years old all the way up to, I have a grad student that's like Wallace just said, JR is 24, 25 years old. And now he works for the Department of Health. He's here at the state. He's been with us through his grad program. He has his master's degree through our program. And our kids are coming back to us to put in the time and work with the next generation because we pour it into them. Just like our dads, we want them to be hands-on with our program. So guys like Quinn, who take our class, we want that. Coach Fred, who's our lead facilitator in our Department of Corrections program, he's working in the same prison he took my class in. He got out of class and said he needed help. We helped him get his undergrad in social work. Now he has a master's degree from Florida State University in social work, and he's our lead MSW. He supervises all of our interns, and he's teaching in the same prison he was in.
Jesus. Now, Mr. Carter, I'm going to let you get away with saying FSU on here. Now, I thought we established that in the green room. So awesome. I'm gonna let you know that one. But come on, Quinn. I want to hear all about your business because it's all about promoting others. That's what I love doing, serving and promoting others. So tell us all about your business, Quinn.
Well, I don't currently have a business right now, but I do have my own little personal music studio. So,
well, that's something. So what do you do?
I record people music. So I've been recording since like 2019, and I don't work with like over 30 people.
Okay.
We're helping them to develop because we said we have music space here. And so we have a gentleman that teaches some music workshops and things. So we'll be enrolling Quinn in some of those things and exposing him to some of the other talent and experts that we have around the way, so that you can get more hands-on with it. So whenever we see anyone with a passion to do something, we'd like to try and enhance what they have and turn them on to resources so that they can grow with it. So he is in the spot that I was in probably 10, 15 years ago, where you're brand new, you got a passion for it, you kind of the diamond in the rough, you raw, and then you get turned on to someone who can help polish you up and then help it to flourish. So we're excited.
That's so awesome.
To see what Quinn brings to the table.
Let me tell you, look at Wallace. That's what I'm talking about. He came right in there to save you. That's what I'm talking about. He came right in there to help you out. That's what it's about. So, Quinn, let me ask you a question. Do you know anything about producing?
Not really, other than watching interviews from like big producers and stuff. I got like the drum kit and stuff. I just more so been like working on like just audio engineering instead of production right now.
Okay, so what I was asking about, what I should have said was like producing the show, because I'm looking for someone, and maybe I can hire you to produce this show, because right now it's being done by me. So we never know why God crossed people's path, But if you don't know, I definitely can send you over some information on StreamYard. It's pretty easy, and it would definitely take so much off of me.
He won't.
Yeah, I definitely want it.
He wants it. He want it.
Well, and we have a couple guys that like Wallace, his brother Joe, and a couple of our other guys that participate in our program, that they do have their own blogs and different shows and things of that nature. So he has a resource here that can be a blessing to help you and help with whatever tasking you give him, because that's part of what we do here as well. We have a network of men.
Listen,
help one another. Iron sharpens iron is what we say. So, and that's what we mean. So we have a bunch of men that would be more than happy to help you and Quinn with making sure that he's being able to be the best to you. So he can definitely help you without a doubt. We can make that happen.
That's just what I was getting ready to say, Stacey. Look at God.
Between Quinn and Joe with On the Shoulders of Giants, we got you. Trust me.
Oh my, listen. Y'all I picked the perfect time. I called Nikki last night. I said, well, Nikki, tell me a little bit about him so I could kind of and the Holy Spirit gave me mighty men of valor. Too many people can't carry that. Too many men cannot carry that. That's heavy. That's heavyweight. Y'all heavyweight around here. Y'all doing an amazing work. And Jalon, I just can't wait to see where you start getting your feet wet. Because, baby, let me tell you something. You don't even know what God is getting ready to do with you. He's getting ready to use you mightily. I'm talking about mightily. I need you to get before God and tell him every single thing that you want. Make it plain. Make it as plain, like you're talking to your dad. Like if I want a pair of shoes, be that specific with God, because God is getting ready to do something with you. Oh my God. I'm telling you, you have not even, all I can say, you're going to say, Miss Erica told me it had to happen. And I want you to come back here and testify before the people, because if I'm a woman of God, I ain't going to sit up here and lie to you, but I know God is getting ready to do something with you, son.
And it's already, and it's there because I have parents, because I'm always posting stuff about him on Facebook, and I'm always, promoting him as my child and what he's doing. but he has no idea how many people have reached out to me and said, Sam, I sent what Jalon is doing to my kid, and now he's doing something like that at his school. Or Sam, how did you get Jalon involved? And then I tell the parent, reach out to the athletic department, tell them I got a kid on your campus and he wants to help out. And they'll give him something to do. So we got kids all over this country that are working at the school that they wanted to participate in as a player, but now they're working as an auxiliary staff because they've seen the example that he's been putting forth over the last few years, and now they think that they can do it too. So he doesn't realize how instrumental he's being to Carter's Corner, but he's our poster child. I keep telling him.
Oh my God. Let me tell you, Jalon tried not to get on camera, y'all, before the show, but we had to kind of encourage him to come on in. You see that, Jalon? I'm telling you, you just, oh my God. You got to come back to IH2H and testify. I'm telling you, you have to come back and tell how good God getting ready to, well, how he been good to you, because I'm telling you, it's getting ready to happen. You just got to be ready. I'm telling you. So if you had a chance and you had a young man that was under the sound of your voice, tell me, just speak to him right now, because we never know who may be listening in. It may be a young child or their parents sitting in. But if you had that young man that was sitting in front of you, go ahead and encourage him for me.
All I got to say, and I've thought about that question you asked me right there. All I would tell somebody is that you're free and to just put your trust in God and just keep taking day by day. That's all.
That's it. Keep putting your best foot forward. That's it right there. Come on, Quinn. Tell me, how would you encourage a young man?
That's a good question. Cause like growing up, I was like always like the person like people would like come to and talk to and like look forward to for motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I would say give them a good pep talk, how things can improve, what can it do to be better, and how can we get there. So
that's awesome. That's a start. That's definitely a start. I see that you're a little timid, but I'm gonna put you on my prayer list, and God gonna use that voice. And every time,
and that's exactly what, and that's why I invited him. That was like I said, we have to sharpen him, and he's going to be one of our outreach guys, and he's one of the guys that's going to be one of the faces of our parenting program. And I know he's a little timid, and that's exactly why I asked him to come on tonight, because him and Jalon both are in training. We got to get them right.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, God gonna use that voice. You said, because the thing is, you just said back in the days that you would be the one that they would come to for advice or to talk to. You understand? Say right now, you may have some things going on that's kind of keeping you pushed back a little bit. This is only what the Holy Spirit is giving me, but you got to leap over that thing, because I'm telling you, God is so awesome. God can do anything. I'm talking about he can make that impossible possible, Quinn. Your voice is going to be heard. So you might as well get ready to. You and Jalon, y'all got to come back and tell me all about it. I'm telling you, because you got the Wallace Ward and these Dr. Sam Carter standing behind y'all. It's happening. It's happening. So right now we're a little over time. I just want to leave with this question here, because the show is called It Had to Happen. So starting with you, Dr. Carter, you kind of walk through a little bit. So what it means is my journey, my pain that birthed my purpose. So tell me about a time that we want to always encourage people. That's what you guys have been doing throughout the show. But we want to know where a time where you had that it to transpire and you was just like, oh God, what do I do? Tell me about that it and tell me how you overcame it. Starting with you, Dr. Carter.
Well, I got an opportunity to go to Troy University to coach, and it was for no money. And I live in Tallahassee, and Troy is 2.5 hours. I drove from Tallahassee to Troy University every day for a year with no pay. That's why I tell people success is measured by sacrifice. When you start telling me what you want in life, I'm going to ask you what you're willing to give up for. I had a family that was in need of my resources, and I had to make a decision. Do I go to school and don't get any money, or do I lay it all on the line and bet on myself, go to college, get my master's degree? I left a job making $28,000 a year. The next year I got paid $80,000 salary because I was willing for 1 year to go without making anything to better my life and my opportunity for my family by getting my master's degree. And that's what I did. I bet on me. So I got on I-10 every day, and I drove back and forth from I-10 and 231 to Troy, Alabama, and the rest is history.
Wow, that is amazing. Let me tell you something. Where you can make that kind of sacrifice, I'm telling you, it's just literally, you were not just thinking about you were thinking about others. So the dollar sign didn't matter to you. You knew that would come. You understand? You just wanted to get the work done. You know,
I bet on me.
Take care of my people, I take care of you. So man, salute. I'm telling you, Dr. Carter. Oh my God. Come on here, Mr. Ward. Wow.
That it moment.
Yeah.
Moved out the house, finally leaving the nest, and less than a month later, I lost my job. All the bills in my name, and refused to go back to my mama's house because this was not my house, and it was either going to be this or my car, but it had to happen.
Come on.
And I prayed daily, continuously, and I got on my hustle. And Sam will tell you, at one point I was juggling 5 different jobs at one stretch for 14 months. I averaged probably about 2.5 hours of sleep, but I had to get it done. I remember catering a graduation event, and I knew that this graduating class was the class I should have been graduating with. Standing there fighting back tears because I'm catering, I'm serving these folks who looking down at me, sniggering and grinning and stuff because they see me, you know, dressed in all black, and I'm serving these folks. Mm-hmm. And the dude, Mr. Kurt, that was standing there, I told him, I said, man, I don't belong here. He said, I know you don't, but don't worry about it. Just keep pushing. And so that's the reason why I try to encourage Quinn and some of the others the way I do, that it really is, success really is measured by sacrifice. And to keep pushing the way I did and just stay determined, I was blessed. And I learned a lot, and I grew that was a time I grew my faith, you know, and I've learned that there's not a man that I know that I can call a man that doesn't have a personal relationship with God. And I think it was forged in the fire of those trials and tribulations. And it's just something I had to go through. And so that was that it moment, right? That kind of turned on that flame within me. And then everything else that was through my way, it didn't really matter what it was. I didn't feel pain before, so bring it on.
Oh my God, you was in the pit, but you went from the pit to the palace, Mr. Ward. All right, salute to you, King. Jalon, was there ever a time you had an it and you just
So far, I'm young, but as of right now, I would say my it would have to be my cousin when he passed away, Trey. When he passed, it made me sit down because I was of age to understand what happened. And it kind of made me sit down and realize it's either stay in Tallahassee or get out and try to do something different. And that's what I decided to do. But like we were talking about with my ACL, it was more of me questioning to myself what direction and path that I want to take. Would that be football? Because at the time I had 2 scholarships that I could have taken. One was in Kansas and one was in Alabama still at Miles. And I didn't think I was going to like the surroundings really. Mm-hmm. So it just made me question myself, like, where would I see myself at? And I just decided to go to Alabama and try to make that the best of and figure out what I could do. So that's been my it so far.
All right. Even though you should have been to the University of Miami. Come on, Quinn.
Go ahead. What you were going to say?
What was your it?
My it is my family right now. So I just, I need to turn the gears up. I need to grind. I'm trying to get to where I need to be.
And you will. You will get to it. Yeah.
You're going to get him there.
And one of the things Quinn start speaking those things. Whatever it is you want, start speaking. Even if you have to get in the mirror and say, I am the king, whatever you have to say, and the things that you want, I want this, whatever it may be for my family. Keep saying it. You see, just keep repeating it, and it has to come to pass. I'm definitely lifting you up on my prayer tonight, Quinn, because your voice needs to be heard. It needs to be heard, and you have some mighty men of valor that's standing behind you. And great things are coming. Great things are coming, and y'all gonna come back and tell the people. Y'all gonna tell the people how good God is, because I'm telling you. I'm getting ready to pick on Mr. Carter before I leave out of here. Mr. Carter said that he had people all over the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Who you got at the University of Miami?
Ryan Hill, King of the Hill. That's one of my babies. Ryan Hill. That's one of my babies.
All right. So, wait, so you my friend then. You my friend, because I was gonna say, hold on.
We've been blessed to send kids all over the place. And Ryan Hill was our first one to go play at the U, and he's a hurricane to the bone. He loves it.
That's right.
And that's an awesome thing for what we do. And we really do appreciate what you guys are doing for us. And hopefully, there's some folks out there who believe in what we're doing. And anybody that want to help out and support what we're doing, we really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. And you can get in contact with them at www.carterscorner.org. Again, www.carterscorner.org. I love that. My grandbaby name is Carter, so I love Carter's Corner. I love what you guys are doing. Keep putting your best foot forward. Jalon and Quinn, like my son. Jalon, come back in here. The show is not over, Jalon. Where are you, Jalon?
Where are you, Jalon? There he is.
All right. Like my son said.
I ain't going yet.
We almost done because I'm gonna have my dinner. But like my son say, never let anyone write your story.
Right.
And when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Right.
And I want Quinn to know it don't matter where you start or how you start. It's how you finish.
That's right.
So keep putting your best foot forward. And I'm telling you, y'all gonna come back and testify before the people. So we do not like leaving without giving, everyone some words of encouragement. So I'm going to start with you, Dr. Carter, to speak to your audience right now.
Believe in yourself. Bet on you. What we want you to do as a person is to understand that your destiny is based on how much faith you have in who you really can be and the things that you can achieve. So don't let nobody tell you what you can't do because they can't do it. And always understand that success is measured by sacrifice.
That's it. That's good. That's good stuff. Y'all better trademark that. You better trademark that, Dr. Carter. Come on, Mr. Ward.
I would say two things. Always be the man, meaning the master of your own destiny. Okay. The architect of your own design and the narrator of your own story. And always be the man you script. That's the name of the book that I wrote. It's The Man You Script. And what I mean by that is that's based on the premise. If you fail to plan, you plan and fail. The man you script is the man that you design, is the man that you write out. What do you write down? What do you put forth? Your goals that are written out become reality. So write it out, make it plain, go get it.
That's it. Habakkuk 2:2. Say, write that vision and make it plain. That's what it says. Come on, Jamie. Encourage the people.
Believe in yourself. That's it.
Well, that's good enough, Jamie.
That's it. That's good.
Come on, Quinn.
Okay, I want to let the people know that we all can overcome anything that is thrown at us, and that truly believing in yourself will get you anywhere.
All right, that's it right there. So you guys have heard from the Mighty Men of Valor, the Carter's Corner. If you're not following them on social media, please do go over to Facebook to follow them at Carter's Corner, correct? Carter's Corner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then on Instagram, it is Carter's Corner 8283. Also, website is www.carterscorner.org. I want to say, Mr. Quinn, Mr. Jalon, Mr. Ward, and Mr. Carter, you guys do owe me a do-over. So you tell your guys that did not make it today that you got to rebook, okay?
Yes, ma'am. We will be happy, and you will enjoy those other guys. We got some good coaches. And one text me said that with the heat index, they had practice moved. So that's why he's in Charlotte. So anytime the heat index is too high, they don't let them practice until later on in the evening or early in the morning. So we had a couple coaches that had to do some other stuff. But hey, we're gonna definitely rebook this thing. You're gonna love those other guys when they get on here.
Awesome. I cannot wait to hear. You know, you guys can open floor anytime you want to come back and share your story, your testimony, whatever it may be. You have the link to book. You're more than welcome. On Monday nights, we have our NFL Mom Show. On Tuesdays, I have my prayer broadcast. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'll open up the floor to guests like you. I'm telling you, you guys has truly, I'm telling you, it's not a viewer on here that couldn't take something away. I mean, if anybody missed something, I just don't know what to tell them, because this was a very informative, very great show. Look at that. Stacey said the same thing. So shouts out to our Instagram family and our YouTube family.
And we have a couple of initiatives that if you guys would like to help us with, we have something called Dads Change Diapers Too. So we've been going around to different barbershops and different places in the community. Anywhere that doesn't have a dad's diaper changing station in their restroom, we will come and help get that station installed so that our dads can make sure that when dad has changed diapers too. And a lot of these places we go, people don't have the changing station in the men's restroom. So we've been installing them in men's restroom. The health department is going to help us get a couple up, but we've been putting them in bathrooms and places where men congregate to help our dads be able to change their kids' diapers as well. So anyone that has that, please reach out to us if you want to support that. And then our 24/7 Dads program is the only thing we receive funding for. So anyone that wants to support what we do at Carter's Corner to help out with good sports and some of our other activities, please go to the website and support what we do. And we thank you guys. And we are definitely blessed to be on this show.
Oh my God, I am blessed to have you all on this show. So again, that website is www.carterscorner.org. And you can, no amount is too big or small.
That's right.
Donations, wherever it may be, pour into this organization. You heard some of the amazing things that they're doing. You also more than welcome to follow them on social media to see what they're doing, as well as go over to their website and see as well as Builders of Men. Oh my God, these guys are doing some mighty work. Mighty Men of Valor. Jalon, I'm gonna see Jalon now dropped out. Jalon gonna time out. See, that's gonna be his time out before the show over. But that's okay. Again, guys, thank you to our viewers. We could not do this without each and every one of you. And if you would like to book with your girl, you definitely could go over to my website at www.ericawilsonih2h.com. Again, www.ericawilsonih2h.com. Also, we do have this amazing event that's coming up in September in Duval. You guys have to be in the building. I'm not accepting a no. You guys have to be in the building. So let me put up the flyer really quick. It is September 14th, all black formal attire. History is going to be made there. I'm telling you, do not want to miss this event. If you're in the area or the surrounding areas, we want to see you guys in the building. Mothers Are Motivated Sons is partnering with, it's benefiting Bully Global, and moms. You definitely want to be in the building. And what tailgate is, just what it is. That's when we begin to party. But the tea time is when we talk. We have a mental health therapist. We have a surgeon on hand. We have an NIL agent on hand. We have so many people that's going to be pouring out on this panel and speaking about bullying, first of all, because there's so much bullying going on in our communities, adults and children. We all know that. But please do be in the building. We want to see you guys there, surrounding areas or wherever you may be. So come on, y'all. Let's go ahead and send out some virtual hugs to the people, because sometimes people need hugs and some virtual love. I'm going to give y'all some hearts. Quinn, this is for you, honey. Quinn,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Let me give you some more. There you go. There you go. We love you guys here at It Had to Happen. And we cannot do this without each and every one of you. Again, guys, thank you so much. And again,
Thank you.
definitely come back whenever you like. But do speak with those other guys, because you guys owe me a do-over. Okay?
Yes,
God bless.
ma'am.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Look at her. She's saying Duval. All right, guys. Thanks again. But definitely go over to their website, www.carterscorner.org. I'm sorry, I almost said
Yes.
.org. See what they're up to. You heard it here on It Had to Happen, but you can see for yourself if you go over to any of their social media platforms or their website. God bless you all. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.